Yeah, yeah. Hey, everyone. Woo, 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 woo. Hi. Oh, man. They are so excited that I'm doing weekend shows. I think it's just like a surprise to them because they're so used to 9 o'clock every day. And having done one last night, they were super excited. And also today, the special episode. So, hello and good morning, or good, well, it's really afternoon here, but it's probably morning to a lot of you. Welcome. It is, hi, Leilani. How are you? It's Rita from Miss Rita to the Rescue here for today's special edition of Cricket Chat. Hi, Roberta. So, I'm going to start with a little bit more. Hi from Germany, Annie. How are you? Welcome. So glad you could join us. What time is it there? Must be getting close to sleepy by time. Hi, Robin. Hi, Bren. So, and there's Shirley and Sandra. How are you, Sandra? So here we go. Today is a special edition for a very special occasion. So February is Black History Month. I have done some interesting reading about Black History Month and where it originated and what it's about. And I just could not let February go by without doing at least one project regarding Black history. And actually, as I started thinking about this, I thought, you know what? I mean, it's appropriate that I'm doing it in February, but as far as I'm concerned, it's kind of like it should be understood and acknowledged on a regular basis. It's sort of like what people say with a holiday, where they say, oh, Easter or Christmas. Well, you should be, or Valentine's Day is a better example. Well, you should be showing your love to everyone throughout the year, but that's why we have it. But then I can always turn around and say, but sometimes we need a reminder. Sometimes we need a reminder that there are people, regardless of their skin tone or their skin color, that have made America and our world great. And it's important to see people. I watched an amazing Netflix special on Madam CJ, who started her own business back in, I think it was the late 1800s, early 1900s, as a Black woman for hair products. And it was done by that marvelous actress Octavia. Trying to remember her last name. I know her first name is Octavia. And I started thinking, I'm sure there are other people like her that I would love to know about, but I just don't know. And so I'm so glad that they have now on the streaming services like Black History Month on videos and things like that. Because, of course, we all know about Rosa Parks. We know a little bit about Malcolm X, and we know some of what we know. Everybody recognizes Martin Luther King Jr. Day and understands who he was and how he was. But there are so many people that can. Spencer, thank you, Octavia Spencer. She's marvelous. I really like her, and she has that look about her that she's always got that cunning face. Like, I don't know, it's really just like a, I know this, like, I know I'm smarter than you kind of face, which I just love. Anyway, but I think we need to broaden our horizons as far as history goes and learn about people beyond the few. Like Maya Angelou, who is an amazing writer and poet and just wow, Harriet Tubman, and Justice Thurgood, and that sort of thing. Frederick Douglass. I don't think they really teach that stuff as much as they really should. And there's just so many amazing people that have contributed to Black history, and just wow, so amazing. Hello, Paralita. So I'm going to say hello. I'm kind of just starting a little bit late because I want, yes, it's so great. Octavia Spencer, yes. Preach, I'm preaching, because you know what? It doesn't matter the your skin color. It doesn't matter. I know people don't like it when you say you're color blind, um but it's very hard. It's hard sometimes to be an ally. I find that to be the same with people in the LGBTQT. I always get that wrong. I always get the letters wrong. But I'm an ally, and some people who don't understand what that is, they say, "Are you a lesbian?" Or if I'm doing a show about Black history, oh, so all of a sudden you're Black? No, I'm not. But I can still take the time to understand and appreciate what Black people have brought to history, and to our, not just our country, but the world. So I'm just so excited. Also, let me, I was on at 7. It was over, Renee. Yeah, so let me start off by giving you a few little tidbits of information. First of all, we did have a date night last night, and I started it at 5 because, man, I get tired at 7. I would be a terrible date. Um thank goodness I don't date anymore. But so we had date night at 5, and we did some really fun things with embossing folders and ink. And I wanted to show you a couple of things that we did. We had a lot of fun, and there are a lot of people that, look at that, isn't that amazing? There are a lot of people that know quite a bit about embossing, more than I do, and that regularly use, look at this. Isn't that cool? That regularly use their embossing machines quite a bit. And I am looking for a few people, maybe like 5, maximum 5, that might want to join me in a Zoom where you can sort of demonstrate what you do with your embossing folders. Okay. So if you have an embossing machine, doesn't matter which one you have, you don't have to have a Cricut Cuttlebug, as I mentioned last night. There are so many out there. There's some that are hand cranked, there are some that are motorized. And if we kind of keep it on the topic uh of embossing folders, I think it goes along very well with our with what we do every day with Cricut and paper. So yes, I where did that go? Oh, let me show you somebody's. So look at this. This is white ink. Now, the ink I used yesterday was called Distress Oxide ink. It's by Tim Holtz, and he has, I don't know, 65 different colors. And this is actually the white color. This is actually Distress ink, not Distress Oxide, and it's white. And so I embossed this in blue, and then I took and I just put my embossing folder right over that, and it showed everything that got embossed. Isn't that great? So there's so much to play with. So if you um, want to be part of this, this would be our first time ever doing sort of a Zoom instruction class. We've done Zooms, but we've never done like a Zoom instruction. Then please reach out to me by email, Miss Rita to the rescue at Gmail. And even if you feel uncomfortable, remember, we're among friends, and you're going to be encouraged. Negative stuff here, and we're going to encourage you. And okay, good, Robin. Yeah, and so we'll have it again Saturday night. I like to say 5, but if you guys want to go a little later, then we can go later. And okay, so there's that. Also, last night we launched the new Cutie giveaway, and here it is. This is, and I think I didn't think about this before I did the Cutie, but this is the sunflower Cutie, which was also in the most recent mystery box. So if you like this and you are favorite, you love sunflowers, sunflower here is the national flower of Ukraine. And so I thought that was completely appropriate. So all you need to do in order to get your name in for this giveaway, it's going to run for 10 days. All you need to do is follow me, or I guess it's follow me on Facebook. So you're going to find my Facebook page, which is Miss Rita to the rescue here, and I'm logged in as myself. But if you are, just find me, and you're going to see a little thing where you can follow and like. And so I figured this was a great opportunity for you. I will try to post often, so that you can share with other people, and we can get I've been stuck on 15,000 followers, which I am so not complaining about. Um, but I've been kind of stuck on it for a little while. So the last time I did this, I quickly shot up in the numbers, and maybe we'll hope to get to 20,000. Kirsten. Yeah, it is fitting, right? So you can do this. I don't know if they have the technology to videotape. No, you don't have to have the technology, by the way, to videotape. You just need the technology of being able to Zoom. So I do my Zooms. You can either do it on your computer, but you can also do it from your phone. So if you are somebody who is thinking about helping out this Saturday, as long as you know how to do a Zoom, and it's really simple as just kind of clicking on a link that I will send you, and then you come in there and you can have your you can prop up your phone and have it look at your camera. You don't need all the fancy equipment. I don't have all the fancy equipment either. um yeah, no negativity, blah, who needs it? Anyway, so we got that Cutie going on, and then once it hits March, we're going to start our March giveaways. And as I mentioned last night, I think you're going to be super impressed at the giveaways this March, because we're not only are we doing some smaller prizes called My Favorite Things, which will be prize packages that I'll put together, that you can win. But there are going to be a couple, not just one, but a couple of big prizes that we're giving out as well. So let's so there's that. Oh, also tomorrow, don't be looking for me at 9 o'clock, because I have to get up early and bring my I'm teasing you. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I have to bring my sister to the hospital for a routine procedure. She's fine, but but I won't be here at 9 o'clock. Now I'm thinking, oh man, what time am I going to get up? Uh, but no, I am up early. My dogs wake me up very early, and so I will not be here tomorrow. I'm toying with the idea of maybe coming on tomorrow night. I probably could, if you twist my arm, I probably could come on, because on Tuesday, it's Mardi Gras. And what that means, of course, I'm going to give you a history lesson, but Mardi Gras is actually the end of carnival season, or carnival. Carnival starts on Twelfth night, or the Epiphany. Remember that back in January, 12 days after Christmas, it starts Carnival, and Carnival runs all the way until the day before Ash Wednesday, which is the start of Lent. So tomorrow is Mardi Gras, which stands for Mardi is French for Tuesday, and gras is French for fat. And that's why you hear it called Fat Tuesday. And it is called, it's been called a lot of things like farewell to the flesh, which basically means it's the end of a large carnival season, that there's a lot of celebrating, drinking, eating all kinds of foods, and partying and parades and all of that. It's the end and sort of the culmination um, of that celebration or that season, and it ends on Mardi Gras. So we're actually going to be jumping in at the end of Carnival, and doing. I'm going to be doing a couple of items that I have some. One of the famous quotes that is often repeated in French for Carnival is or for Mardi Gras is laissez les bons sons rouler, which means let the good times roll. So that's the attitude towards and king cake. Oh, I love king cake. I love king cake. So we can talk about that. Anyway, so I was thinking about coming on Tuesday and showing you my things, but then I thought, well, maybe I could come on Monday since I'm not going to be, Oh, you know what? Actually, I can't because I just remembered we have a presentation at 6 o'clock. All right. So on Tuesday, we'll do Mardi Gras. Also, coming up this week, I know how you love my cards. So I wanted to give you a preview. It's not done yet, but we're going to do a gatefold card that I designed. It's a mason jar. And look at this. It says handmade with love. And you open it up and it says just for you. I was thinking when I made this, first I wanted to show you about how to do gatefold cards, but also I was thinking oftentimes I give people things that I've made. Like if I bring my mom and her friends something that I've made, it would be real nice to have a card that I could give them as well. So I designed this one that is just sort of kind of a fun gatefold card, and I'm going to show you how to make it from scratch. The other one we showcased it last night because of the color here, but there is this flamingo card that features, not only does it feature some great coloring with ink, but also has a print and cut element and will have a sentiment in there. So that's during the rest of the week. And I haven't yet decided on Friday, but I think what we'll do is we will probably do something from Craft with Sarah. I'm also working on a Celtic prayer, to put in a frame to celebrate St. Patrick's Day, which often turns into like a party, but it actually is a national holiday in Ireland to celebrate St. Patrick, who was canonized as a saint for bringing Christianity to Ireland. So that is the real reason we celebrate St. Patrick's Day, is that he brought the to the Irish people Christianity. Up until that time, it was more of a Celtic pagan origin. So there you go. Anyway, so let's get started on this now. And now that I've talked too long, and by the way, if I talk too long for you guys and you're watching this after the fact, there's a button. It's called fast forward. So if you feel like I'm talking too much, I do it all the time to myself. So if you think, oh, here she goes, then you can pick up when I start talking about these projects, and I will not be offended. You don't have to tell me. I know I talk a lot, but people like it, so that's what I do. All right, so here we go. I wanted to celebrate Black History. I was looking for some opportunities to do it. And I know that the kids love stickers. These days, the young people like stickers. And I thought, I have this stuff. It's called printable vinyl. And I haven't ever really talked about it. So here it is. It's printable vinyl from Cricut. It's on sale right now. And the Cricut store for about $6, and you get 10 sheets. And for those of you that have been disappointed with the sticker paper, you will love the printable vinyl. It's much thinner, so you do not have a problem with printing these things. But what do you print on the printable vinyl? Well, I'm going to show you. So using the topic of Black history, not only did I prepare this full sheet that I'm going to show you how to get it so that it will print on your printer, of stickers, but I also took this really cool, this big thing. I took this really cool sign. So I was thinking, oh, I'll make a sign out of it, which you could still do. But I thought, those letters are going to be maddening. Those little black letters are going to be maddening to transfer if I did it in vinyl. So I decided instead to turn it into a sticker that I could either use on like the front of my notebook, which is what I did here, or I could use for this really cool card that I made, and I did a reel for it. So I actually closed up the envelope. So let me just show you what it looks like. So there is that. And this is a sticker. And all I did was cut out this this piece of cardstock and stuck it there, and then I could write whatever I needed to write. And oftentimes people will use these types of things, or a card, maybe they'll put it on their bulletin board or something. So that's what I was thinking there. So let me start off by having a brand new canvas. I like printable vinyl, I really do. Thank you, Mama Bear. Yeah, they don't have to watch. There's so many people online. And I don't mean that in a negative way. Some people just rub us the wrong way. There's this one guy that I listened when I listened to MSNBC. There's this one guy, he has such a gravelly voice that I can't take it. He's so smart, but I have such a hard time with his voice. And I got ADD, but I just I can't take his voice, and I have to be like, I got to change the channel because I just can't, you know, I can't deal with it. It's just some people's voices or whatever. Anyway, I appreciate you all that stick with me. So let's go. We have a brand new canvas. Let's go to images, and you will find at the first blush that you might find some great images that are just appear, such as this one. I love the woman I've become because I fought to become her, which is beautiful. What a beautiful sentiment. So you could certainly find these images just by scrolling, but the most important trick is to go over here where there is the triple dot. So look at this one. It says Black History Month. So I'm thinking, where this one came from, there's got to be other ones. So I'm going to click on these triple dots, and then there's a clickable link that says view image set. So I'm going to click on that. And what do you know? We have these 5 images, which that's kind of not a lot. You might be like, Rita, what are you talking about? So I want to do the colorful one. So I'm going to choose these 4. But then I'm going to go back to my images, and I might just type in Black history and find out where else are there images. There's quite a few, and we need to find out what are you doing? Oh, oh my gosh, you guys, right before I went on, like half hour before I went on, um, I found Benji chewing my mini, the plug for my mini. He totally chewed it off. I don't know what to do. So, so I have to buy a new mini now. Anyway, so we're back to all of the images, and I want to type Black History, but I always get a little confused here when I look at image sets. I know. What a bad little boy. Bad little boy. Okay, so here are a ton of images, not just the ones that I've chosen. So let's see where these are coming from. So I like this one, Black History Matters. So I'm going to go again to that triple dot and look, there's a whole image set called Black History Month. There's 33 images here. Now, some of them I don't know if I no, it's the actual plug, Shirley. The plug, not through because I could have Santo fix that if he chewed through the cord. He chewed the plug. The plug. I'm not going to be able to get it into the outlet for sure. All right. So you'll notice that some of these are like solid colors. Some of them are multicolors. For instance, this is Celebrate Black History Month, but here it is in color. And so when we're looking at these, we can even pick these lovely little girl ones. And when we're looking at these, so let's just pick all the colored ones because those are cool, and we're going to be printing and cutting these. So we're going to need to make sure that that they look good when they're printed. They're not single colors. I can buy a replacement plug. You think an electrician can replace it? Okay, Santo can do that then. You can just buy a new plug. Thank you. Okay. So we have pulled in quite a few images that we're going to use. Now, there's some things that we have to do to these images in order to make them printable, and size being one of them. But the other one is we have to flatten images. And I'm not sure if anybody's ever done flattening before. So I'll show you what that's about. But flattening basically is just a way to take an image that might have multiple mats, right? So an image that has 3 or 4 colors would have 4 layers, let's say. So some of those that we looked at had oh, good. I'm so glad to know that, Kathy. So some of these, like this one, has 1, 2, 3 colors. This one has 4 colors. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4 colors. So there's a lot of colors here. So we're going to want to flatten them, otherwise it will not work out. So these come in and they're very big, which we need to make smaller. Some of them have a no background. So for example, this one, it does have a background. If we were going to cut this out, it would cut out, as long as we flatten it, it would cut out all around the continent, right? And we wouldn't have to worry about. But this image is not really, it's not ready to be cut out in print and cut. It's very simple to get it ready for that, but it is not ready just yet. So if we flattened this and went to print it, the machine, the Cricut, would actually go inside all those letters, and it would be a big old mess, and you'll be like, why did Rita tell me how to do this? But because there's a couple of really good um tricks that you can do with these. Okay, so let's start off the easy way, and let's have a look at something like, what's going on? Come on. Why am I having a hard time? Okay, let's start off with this. Very simple. Why am I having a hard time with this? Ugh. All right, let's have a look at this. So we're going to flatten this image, and you flatten it over here on the right hand side. It's next to attach. That's what that button is for. So once you flatten it, you'll notice it looks a little different. Okay, but this, because there's no white that you can see through, and I don't mean white, but I mean like actual see through. So can you see through these letters? There is like a graph. You can see the graph behind it. That, when we flatten this, let me show you. When we flatten it, you will still see that graph, and we don't want that. So in this case, what we'll do is we're going to add an offset. So we're going to go up here to offset, and we'll decide, do we want it to be at 1/4 of an inch and a corner? Yes, and we'll hit apply. Now, the problem with offset right now is that the offset layer often comes out black. And so that's going to be a little difficult to read this sticker. So you might need to change the color. So just click on that offset layer and hit white or something that's not black, so you can see all. So let's choose yellow, although that might not work. Yellow's not going to work. How about red? Red works. Yeah, red works, and you can see the background. Now, one thing that I did before we went and did offset is I flattened the image. So what that means is that when we do the offset layer, it too is flattened. It too is a print then cut. You see up here, print then cut. But in the case where if you did an offset and there were a lot of tiny little holes, and you wanted to get rid of them, you need to change the operation back to cut so that you can make any adjustments using contour. Okay. But once you've done that, you can go ahead and either change it back to print and cut, or easier, just go ahead and put it underneath your sticker where you want it, group them, or just grab them both, and then choose flatten again. Okay, because we want to flatten it and we want to attach them all at once to each other. Okay. Now, once you've done this, you cannot change the back of this because it becomes one single solitary image. Okay. But you can back out of it. You can do your undo button. So you can say, I don't really like that yellow. So you can just hit undo until it is undone. Let's go back. There we go. And maybe change the color to, what did we have before? Red? To red. And you might say, I like this better. Or, I don't know. I kind of like it better. Don't you? All right. I'm going to stick with it. So once you change the color to what you want it to be, then select them both and do flatten. Okay. I'm just going to make these as little as possible because it's hard to see them all. Same thing for something like this. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different colors, which will all cut on separate mats. And instead of just doing that, you can go ahead and flatten this. And again, flattens over here. And then select this image and choose offset and hit apply. Okay. And again, it's black. So maybe this one here will change to gold because that looks pretty awesome. And there we go. We're going to select them both and flatten. Okay. So you have to, when you choose images, there are things you're going to have to do. Now, here's an interesting one. You're going to have to do to your images so that they are turned into good stickers. It's not just like, okay, I'm just going to resize them and turn them into stickers. Doesn't work that way. Okay. So in this case, we have this really cool image that is 3 colors, but you see the grid here under all the letters. And what that's going to do is if we cut this out as a sticker, if we flatten it, it will actually cut out these. So you'll see the background. So if you can see the background and you don't want to see it, you'd rather see a different color, maybe black even, you can do offset, or you can try this trick. And that is duplication. So over here, I'm going to duplicate. All right. And in this case, I am going to weld it all. Just that one, weld. And then I'm going to go to contour. And I am going to choose to hide all the contours. Okay. So we're just going to hide all the contours. And in this case, I want to make sure that we do this right. Yeah, it seems to be working. Unfortunately, you got this, which I don't know why, because it's attached to the outside layer. Ah, so this kind of works. It doesn't really work 100%. My thought process was to create a back layer here, but it kind of can't do that because of the way the B and the K are connected. So rather, what I'll do is I will take this image and I will do offset. And what I'll do is instead of it being 1/4 of an inch offset all around, I'm going to turn it toward, see the little ball? I'm moving it towards the center where that line is. You see that? And then I'm going to hit apply. This should work. Did it work? Yes. And then I can contour out. I'm hoping it's going to let me contour out the cutouts. Why is it so slow? Let's see. Yeah, I think this is going to work. I'm going to find the B. Where's the B? I'm going to find the B. This B. By the way, has anybody noticed that contour's been behaving a little bit weird? Anyway, so this is what I'm trying to do, but it's not working. Contour's behaving badly. So rather, I'm just going to go back and do this again, and I'm going to make an offset layer that is just small, and then I will apply it. All right. And then here we go. I'll do contour and I will hide all the contours. I hope this works. It's still not working. This is kind of dumb. Maybe I need to make it even bigger. So let's do that. All right. So offset. Let's do 1/4 of an inch. It's 1/4 of an inch is going to work, I think. All right. Hit apply. Actually, it looks pretty good that way. Yeah, so let's do it this way. All right, so 1/4 of an inch. Then we're going to take these 2 pieces, the 2 layers, and grab them together and flatten them. All right, so now we have that one ready. What about this? Okay, so this has some letters that are really separate. And so when you go to cut this out or even do offset, you might end up with like this having an offset layer and this having an offset layer. Oh, it's open-ended. Thanks, Shirley. Yeah, I don't know. Something weird's going on with offset. I'm sorry, with contour. So this isn't a really good candidate for offset. However, we can do a couple of things. The first thing that we can do is we can go over to shapes and choose like a circle or a square. Let's choose a circle for this one. And let's make the circle bigger. We'll make this image smaller. And we want the circle to be behind there. And maybe we want the circle to be, I don't know, white or gray or something, whatever color. How about yellow? And we're going to then put a circle around this image. And I like it this way. Then we're going to um, grab those two and flatten them together. And now I have a circle sticker with that really cool Celebrate Black History Month. We're going to do the same thing for this one, except we're going to choose a square shape. So I'm going to choose the square. And when it ever comes in, I am going to unlock it and sort of pull it so that it covers the entire image. And then I'm going to hit arrange to the back. Now, because this has a number of different colors there, I think I'll turn the background white, because then we'll have, yeah, see, that's pretty cool. Now this is still also flat, not flattened. So we have to select this and hit flatten. And then I was working on, when I worked on this as a card, I actually, after I flattened it, then I went back and did an offset layer where I chose the squared off. You see this, like more of a right angle. I chose that. And once it is ready, it will put it there. So that's kind of cool. And then we still have to flatten all three because we want them to be together. So there you go. There's that one. What else have we got? We could do this one. This is just a case of flattening it and resizing it. How about this one? So we can do this one either with offset, like this, apply. And then we're going to do contour and take out that one little cut because it's annoying, and do that. And maybe we'll do the color red because we have a couple of yellow. So we'll do red. All right. And now we have this, which looks really cool. We're going to grab it and flatten it. So you see what I'm doing? I'm just making each of these images printable, basically. So again, this one here doesn't really need an offset layer. So let's hit flatten. And I think it's going to be okay on its own. We'll just like make it smaller because it's really big. And let's see what else we've got. Didn't we already do this Black History Matters? Oh, we have Celebrate Black History. So again, we could either do a shape like this, where we choose a shape and put it behind there. Where is it? Here, like this. And we'll make it big like this. Arrange it to the back. Maybe change the color. I know we've done yellow a lot, but I like yellow. And then group it, flatten it, and resize it. Okay, I think we're almost done. There's a couple more. This one, because since we're doing, like, I just like the idea that it's not just the month, right? Yeah, Faye, I tried to post them. Go to Facebook. You can probably see if they work for you. Okay. Now this one's interesting because look, it has these three stripes, which are pretty awesome. And then it has the black fist. And I really, really like that. But I'm wondering, should we flatten it? And if we flatten it, maybe we need to do an offset layer because I want the background, I want you to be able to see the different strips here. So let's do offset, and we'll do a rounded corner. and see how that looks. Oh, that actually looks pretty awesome. Except I want to take out this, whatever this thing is. I want to take out that contour piece right there. And I'll just hide all the contours. All right. Doesn't that look cool? That looks really good. Yeah. Oh man, my son's going to love this one. All right. And then I'm going to flatten it. Okay. So now we've done, I think, all of them, and we're getting ready. Like, come on, Rita, let's make some stickers. Okay. So I'm going to pull this one out, and we're going to make stickers from all of these. We'll make a actual sticker page, a paper of stickers, just like this. And we're going to print it on our printer. Now, if you have a Joy, this is something you cannot do with the Joy. It's because you need to have a sensor on the machine. And so the Joy has a very simple mechanism, does not have a sensor. But any of the Explorer machines, any of the Maker machines will work with that. So even if you have an Explorer 1 or the original Explorer, this will work. But you do need to have a printer that you can hook up to. And I have a very old, very cheap HP printer, and it still prints like crazy because I follow this very specific set of rules. So let's say you said, okay, Rita, I'm ready. I'll make these sort of smaller, whatever, and then I'm just going to hit make it. And what will happen is it will take all of these images and put them in a box. Unfortunately, because I didn't size these appropriately, it's going to print on 2 pages. Don't want that. So let's cancel. And we're going to do my little trick where I am going to go to shapes right here, and I am going to add a square. Now, in this case, I'm going to leave the square just the same color. I'm going to unlock it, and then I am going to change the width to 6.75 and the height to 9.25. It cannot be larger than that. And I'll tell you why in a second. So you can lock it up. And here becomes our template. Okay, so here is the template that we are going to put all of our images. And you do have to make sure you go back with it, arrange to the back. Okay, so here's our template, and you can then start taking all of your images and sort of placing them on your template. They cannot touch, and they have to stay within the square. So you end up doing what I do is sort of resizing them. A 2-inch sticker is like around 2 inches is fine. And remember, these are going to go on like your notebooks, your your laptop covers, things like that. And so unless you really want this big statement sticker, then making them sized appropriately will work. So here, that's all I'm doing is I'm bringing each one in and then resizing. And as I start placing them, I can decide, okay, I want to have 2 of these Black History Month ones. So I will duplicate it, and I'll make one bigger and one smaller. So there's a big one, there's the small one. Or maybe you might want to do 2 of each one. If it fits within the square, go for it. And so you might need to change, and sometimes it's just like a quarter of an inch, but you can just play with this and just go, okay, I really like this, and it's going to fit within this square. And you can have a lot of fun with this. I did this with the Ukraine stickers yesterday, and instead of going to Design Space, I instead went on the internet and found There's a lot of free images for like Free Ukraine, Pray for Ukraine, that sort of thing. So just squish as many in there as you want or care. The only thing you don't want to do is you do not want them to touch, and you do not want them to come out from this square, or else they will, it won't work. All of them will work. Okay. So let's see. You can even do something like this. Turn it around if you think, oh, this, if I turn it on its side, it will work better. And like this, I'm turning this on the side, and yeah, that does work better. So you see that I've got, let's see, instead of having 4 images on one sheet, I now have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. 14. So right before we go to cut, we are going to take away this background. I just hide it. Then, without moving anything, we're going to select all of them. And then we're going to attach. That's the paper clip. Okay. Once you attach, watch this. When you hit make it, instead of appearing on multiple pages, they all appear on one sheet. This is perfect. This is going to work, and I'm going to be able to conserve my material. So I only have 10 sheets of this printable vinyl. I don't want to make a mess. All right. So let's go ahead and go to cut this. So whenever you're doing print and cut, you have to, all right. Amazon is here. Come on, Sunday. You have to send it to the printer, because Cricut doesn't do the printing. It works with the printer. Now, if you have, it's just an inkjet printer. I have a $50, that's what I paid, a $50 HP inkjet printer, and it is multicolored. And I have what's called instant ink, or I think it's called instant ink, where they send me my ink cartridges for free. So I don't have a worry about color, running out of color. If you don't have that instant ink, maybe you might have an Echo Tank. Those are good, but you might decide, I don't want to do a whole lot of print and cut, because it does use a lot of ink. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to send this to the printer. But before I send it to the printer, I want to make a few adjustments here. I do not want bleed on these. Bleed is simply like a quarter, like an eighth of an inch all around my sticker, that that when it's cut out, it won't be like kind of off base. And it's sort of an insurance policy. But I did calibration on this machine before I did print and cut. And so I'm not going to use bleed, but I am going to use the system dialog. All right, so that's what I'm doing. This is my printer, and I'm going to hit print. Now, you might look at this and go, okay, why isn't it doing anything? It is. You just need to go over here and minimize design space, and woo, there's my dialog box. So for this printer, I just changed the quality to best, and then I hit print. I can also print more than one copy if I want to. So there is my print, my images. I can hear, yep, my machine going. I'm going back to Cricut Design Space, and this is where I'm going to be cutting out the material. Now, the printable vinyl, it cuts okay with the setting printable vinyl. So you can go to browse all materials and choose printable, and you'll see printable vinyl here. But to be honest, it doesn't cut exactly the way that I want it to. So instead, I use washi tape as a setting. Washi tape. It's actually washi sheet. That's what I use. So now that I'm waiting, I can hear it printing. Hi, Susan. Hi, Shirley. It's an HP printer. HP has something called, I think it's called like instant ink, where they keep track of how many pages you print and they know how much ink you have in your printer, and then they just send you it can start as low as $2 a month, to be honest. It's really cheap. I I only use my son likes to print things every once in a while too, and then Santo has me printing things sometimes. So mine costs me about $4, $5 a month, but I never have to worry about ink. The ink always arrives and in this little box, and it works out just terrific for me. So I do pay like it's a subscription. I know everybody has a subscription, but this one is really, I think, worthwhile for me. So here's my printout. Okay. And you notice it has a black box all around it. That's okay. That's for our sensors. What you'll also notice is that it might look a little wet. That's because I've printed it with the best quality. So it's using a lot of ink. So it does depend on what kind of quality, but you do have to wait for it to dry a little bit or else it will smudge. And I can actually see, I don't know if you can see that, like on the hair part there, still a little wet, and probably this square all around is a little wet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on to my mat and try. Uh-oh. Did we have a problem with internet there? It looked like it went out for a second. So I'm going to try to not touch it here, and I'm just going to press it onto the mat. Although um, I would caution you to make sure it's dry before you put your hands on it, okay? So I'm pushing this on the mat. If you don't have a very sticky mat, you can still put in, and I do this all the time, although the other product experts were telling me that they don't do this, but I like to do this because I am always adding more, and my mats just run out of stick. So all that is masking tape, and it won't interfere with the cutting out. So I'm looking now and I can see on the hair that it's not shiny anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and put this into my machine, and let's move you over here so you can see what it's going to do. All right. So once I hit the flashing button over here, you'll see the carriage moving around the paper. And what that's doing, there's a little light that comes on too. And what that's doing is um, it is like scanning the paper at all four corners so it knows where to cut out. And that's what that square is for. It's to keep your uh your machine to cut out correctly. Does that make sense? So in the event that you accidentally put this on upside down, which I have done, it might not cut out correctly. I've done it before. Remember, we were doing the butterflies, I think over a year ago, and I put them on upside down and I shouldn't have, and they cut out all wrong. So you do need to put it on the way that it comes out of the machine. All right. And there it goes. So you see it's cutting all around. So that one is the one that's the continent, and it's cutting all around the continent. And hopefully it's cutting it enough that it cuts through, but keeps the backing on there. So depending on how you like it, some people are okay with stickers that cut all the way through, and stickers are a big craze. Like right now, especially People are selling stickers for like $4 and $5, and I'm like, that's crazy. I'll just make my own. And I did the same thing with the Ukraine stickers, and I can show you how I did that at the end. Okay, so it's cutting out. Now, while we do that, let me just talk to you about this one. So this one, all this is was a cut that I made sure. So remember when we make insert cards, we make from our own card stock. It's just an 8.5 by 11 inch sheet of paper. Let me see if I have one here. I have a lot of 12 by 12 here. But when you take an 8.5 by 11 inch sheet of paper and you cut it the long way, and then fold each piece, it creates two A2 size cards. And that's what I made this sticker as. So I cut this out the exact same way we're cutting this out, but I only had two on the page that I cut out. And then so they cut out, they print, they cut out. And then all I did was take a piece of half of a piece of 8.5 by 11 and fold it. And there is my card. So that's how I created a card and a larger sticker. Now, for the Ukraine ones, if you're interested in the Ukraine ones, I was able to get all of these images for free. I didn't go looking for Black History Month images, but when you do find images on like Google, be very careful, because I know that there is a desire and interest to do things that are name brand or that are trademarked, such as Disney, Sanrio, Marvel, those sorts of things. But you have to be careful, because even though Google will show them as an image search, you need to you cannot just take it and reproduce it. So I know for a while there in the groups, like people wanted to do those pink from Victoria's Secret, or like Louis Vuitton, and we just discourage them from that because we don't want to get into a trademark situation. This kind of thing is not trademarked. So you can go and find these images. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So let's come up here while this is finishing up, and we'll go to Google. Lisa Frank. Oh, right, Cindy? Yeah, Lisa Frank. All right. So if Black History Month stickers do not interest you, that's okay. You can do whatever you want. For me, I was looking for some things that did, uh, let's see, farming, because I'm working with the people in our community farm, or things that have to do with recycling and whatever. So in that case, what I did was I went to my Google. So here's Google. And I just typed in, oh, whatever I wanted to type in. So in this case, maybe I want to do recycling images. That's what I did. And you can also put free if you want. And you'll see that all of these images come up. Now, not all of these images are really free. Even though you searched free, some of them may be trademarked. And you'll see here, for instance, like this one, you can buy it, but it's not free. If you have to buy it, it's not free. You can look at things like up here, clip art, or vector, which is short for, I mean, it's long form for SVG. There's printables. There's all kinds of stuff you can look for. Just be careful, okay? And then we just go ahead, and when you find something you like this one, we recycle. I like that. That's awesome. So I'm going to click on it, and I have a Mac. So on my Mac, what I do is I type Shift Command 4, and then I select the image like this. See that? And it's showing it down here. And then I'll go to my Cricut and I'll go to upload, and I will do upload image, browse, and all of those screenshots that I do go onto my desktop. So let me just show you where that is and what that looks like. So we just did that one that was recycling. And come on, are you not? Okay. So I'm going to go to my desktop. Oh, there it is right there, my desktop. And I'm going to choose that screenshot, open it up. And things are taking awful long time. Hi, Sharon. All right, open it up. And in this case, it's not an SVG. It's like a PNG or a JPEG or something like that. So you have to choose what type of image. So I'm going to choose moderately complex and hit continue. And this is brand new, by the way. Not brand new, but you can use, if you are an Access member, you can use this remove the background tool, and it will remove the background. Now, in this case, it removes way too much. So I'm going to hit revert, and I'm just going to do it myself. So I'm going to use my little select tool and just use that background. Okay. So that's what I want it to do. And I'm going to hit apply and continue. And then you have a choice. Do you want to do the cut image, or do you want to do print and cut? In this case, I'm going to do it as print and cut, and I upload it. So I did all of these. These are the Ukrainian ones. And so once I have them in my uploads, I just select them and bring them into my canvas, much like we looked for them in Design Space, but there's just a few more. There's a few more things you have to do. So my preference is, it'd be great if they were in Design Space, but they're not always. So here are the images. Didn't I bring in the recycling one? There we go. Actually don't like that color. I want it to be green. And all right, so there's the recycling one. Let me see if I can change the color. No, I can't. I don't think no, it's already print and cut. But so I did the same thing with these images. I turned them into stickers and made myself some stickers. So there are lots of stuff that you can do here. This is just kind of tip of the iceberg kind of thing, but just free your mind and think of all the different things that you could do at Christmas or for Easter to make decals for the kids, or maybe you want to even do your own return address labels. You could do that. That would be fun. You could put a picture of your cat on there with your return address label, and have your own personal return address label. That's another great idea. Or I don't know, just like lots of fun things, maybe for a party. You can even use these types of print and cut for cards, which is what I'm going to show you later on in the week, and just a lot of different things. And so thank you so much for joining me today. I know I'm a little bit wordy today, but I want to show you this is a fun process. And I did also want to highlight Black History Month because it's important, because Black history is American history, and it's important that we honor that and learn about it as well. So thank you all for coming today. I really appreciate it. You're welcome, Gloria. And we will see you again, not tomorrow. We will see you again on Tuesday morning for Mardi Gras, and we'll be doing some Mardi Gras fun there. Okay. Take care. Take care, everybody. I'm not wordy. Oh, thank you so much, Heather. All right, everybody. Take care. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend.